This is Don't Mind Me, I'm Different. And I'm your host, Ron Sowers, here to teach you how to put a foot in depression's ass and turn ADHD from a perceived weakness into a superpower, where you can be the hero in your own story. Let me be your guide to join in legions of Avengers just like yourself. Speak out and break the chains of this stigma. So you'll be the one at your job that people come to instead of running away from. Take back your life and own your difference. Just a quick disclaimer, I'm just a guy with ADHD and depression. I am not a professional. So if you are struggling with these, depression especially, please seek out professional help before it's too late. Sleep is essential for everyone, but for someone with ADHD, getting it can feel like something out of Mission Impossible. In this episode, we dive into the hidden relationship between ADHD and sleep problems, unpacking why trying harder to sleep actually makes things worse, and things you can try to set you up for success. Along the way, for all you coffee lovers out there, we got a historic matchup between two heavyweight contenders, sleep and caffeine. By the end, you'll be armed with unorthodox ways on how to transform your sleep routine. So get ready for some deep insights that will stick with you the next time your mind simply won't switch off at night. Okay, let's start with a question. How many of you with ADHD have laid awake at night, exhausted, but unable to sleep? You tried every trick in the book, but it feels like the more you focus on sleeping, the harder it gets. It's frustrating, right? Almost like your brain refuses to cooperate when you need it most. I've got an important meeting tomorrow. Don't you get it, brainy? But here's the thing. ADHD's brains aren't wired like everyone else's. So why should we expect a normal approach to sleep and work? Now here's something different. The harder you try to sleep, the more your ADHD brain resists. And it's not just in your head, it's science. ADHD brains are wired for stimulation. So when you lie down, all that extra energy has nowhere to go. The solution isn't trying harder. It's about tricking your brain into shutting off in the first place.
I do. I get like 9 hours of sleep every night.
Not me, because I don't need a lot of sleep. Like, I only need like 5-6 hours. Anything more than that, then I'll wake up sluggish.
Okay, so, really?
I might have ADHD, but I can't sleep more than like 5-6 hours.
Do you know why that is, or?
I think my brain don't go to sleep, and then when I go to sleep, I don't need a lot of time. My brain's always spinning.
I just go on my phone until I fall asleep, or like I'll do schoolwork or something until I fall asleep.
Yeah, I sleep I go to sleep like later, but then I sleep for a long time. So I find myself like sleeping throughout the days and stuff like that. So I definitely gotta work on that. Or like waking up on time, like for like school and stuff like that. Yeah, I struggle with a lot.
Yeah, I mean certainly if I don't get enough sleep, then yeah, I mean everything suffers, right?
Yeah.
My concentration, the quality of my work, my patience.
So what do you think is like the barrier to doing that?
I don't really know. Like I tried setting up alarms and stuff like that, but that doesn't help really.
I have insomnia. I have insomnia like sleep is come or go. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. But you still have to function without it. So when you don't get it, it sucks.
So now let's talk about blue light. You probably heard the advice to turn off your devices an hour before bed. Now, I'm going to throw you a curveball. The problem isn't just your phone or your tablet. It's also the artificial light from lamps around your house and even certain alarm clocks. Blue light messes with your circadian rhythm, tricking your body into thinking it's still daytime. For someone with ADHD, whose natural sleep patterns are already out of sync, this becomes a recipe for disaster. A study by the National Sleep Foundation shows that blue light exposure can reduce melatonin production by up to 50%. And for those of us with ADHD, our bodies often struggle to produce melatonin in the first place, making blue light exposure doubly damaging. Now, here's some benefits from eliminating blue light or screen time before bedtime. Enhance melatonin production. Look, I didn't know this, but screens emit a blue light, which in turn disrupts the natural production of melatonin. I often woke up in the middle of the night or have difficulty getting to sleep because of this. So there's better sleep onset. ADHD can make it very challenging for an individual to transition from stimulation that goes on from the day into sleep mode. By removing screens, it helps the mind shift into a more relaxed state, making it easier to fall asleep at a consistent time. So I'm just beginning to understand that my mind runs on a clock, and I operate better when I stay on a consistent schedule, at least throughout the work week. Besides, I still don't know how to rip myself away from my favorite show, especially when the main character could very well die in the next scene. The next one is enhanced REM sleep and sleep cycles. So better deep sleep. The deeper phases of sleep, especially REM, are essential for cognitive function and emotional health. Studies have shown that reducing screen exposure before bedtime helps the body sustain and enter REM sleep, which is rapid eye movement. And I also heard that deep sleep is required to remove all the clutter that builds up throughout the day because we absorb everything. Look, studies are all good and stuff, but I'm more interested in trying it out for myself. And since applying this in my life, it really has improved the overall quality of my days. So you get fewer sleep disturbances. Watching screens before bed can delay the timing of your internal clock, which can lead to misalignment with your natural circadian rhythm, which basically means that you won't be getting up for no reason in the middle of the night, at least as often. The next one is reduced overstimulation and hyperactivity. So it produces a calmer mind. Digital content such as social media and Deadpool and Wolverine can really stimulate the brain, causing hyperactivity. This is not helpful if your goal is to quiet the racing thoughts and reducing the restlessness that is common with us ADHDers. And decrease dopamine. Yeah, it's true that we need dopamine. And I know I've talked a lot about that. Just not right before bed. Like I said, it's impossible for me to detach from an engaging show. It's always right after this scene. Right after this scene. No. Right after this, until I know it's like 4 a.m. and now my next day is screwed. So next one is enhanced focused and executive function. Improved concentration. Proper sleep is the necessary ingredient for focus and mental clarity. When screen time interferes with that sleep, it can worsen ADHD symptoms such as the ability to organize, focus, and remain calm the next day. Remember, better sleep leads to improved executive functioning, memory, and focus, all of which are areas that can be very challenging for us already. And better memory consolidation. I don't know about you, but it seems that my short-term memory has a very limited bandwidth. Literally out of sight, way out of mind. I have found that deeper sleep gives me just a little bit more hold, so I don't leave the house without my lunch for the day. The next one is reduced anxiety leading to higher mood quality. Less exposure to stressful content. We are highly sensitive individuals. Everything around us affects us more intensely than the rest of the world. And don't get me wrong, this isn't a bad thing, and I think that it is a great thing. However, watching the newsreel or getting on social media can trigger anxiety or stress, especially in today's climate. Reducing or regulating this particular type of screen time before bed helps to avoid exposure to content that can be emotionally stimulating. Don't worry, it will still be there in the morning. Enhanced emotional stability. If you're like me, a single comment in the right tone or voice can really set me off. Yet when I get the right sleep, I notice that, that comment may still affect me, just not as intensely. And it gives me that little bit of pause that I need to not say things that I might regret and go off the deep end. The next one is improved physical health and reduced eye strain. Less digital eye strain. So prolonged screen time causes eye strain, which can lead to headaches, which I know that I'm quite prone to having. It can be difficult to take a break when engaging in stimulating activities because I know I'm in the zone. Putting a limit on my screen time before bed allows for my eyes to get that much more needed rest. And reduce physical tension. Engaging in screen-based activities before bed can lead to poor posture and tension in the neck and shoulders. Screen-free time can lead to a more relaxed body and mind. Come on, give those guys a break. They will really thank you for it. And the last one is more time for calming, screen-free activities. So this encourages a healthier bedtime routine. For us with ADHD, we really do well with structure, especially when it comes to getting to bed. Although I know personally I don't really like it, I consider myself a night owl. So it's because we take in so much throughout the day without being able to process it thoroughly. That might be why a whopping 67% of people with ADHD are night owls, because nighttime is the best distraction-free time to accomplish this. Some suggestions on other healthy activities includes reading a book, journaling, or stretching can promote that much-needed relaxation and defragging. Not so screen dependent. So screen time reduction, it helps to foster healthy habits, thereby breaking the habit of using this medium for nighttime entertainment. We are very prone to hyperfocus on digital media because although it's a great resource, we tend to go down those pesky rabbit holes.
You can't sleep if you use your phone 10 minutes before you sleep?
That's why I have blue light glasses.
I don't wear the blue light.
Yeah, blue light is actually like it emits from like TVs, like cell phones, like laptop computers.
yeah.
I got black glasses.
That's cool. Why did you get those?
I can't see, and I been goatee, mess my eyes up. I got glasses now, but I don't wear them.
I certainly have like on my phone at a certain time of the day it shifts. It like does the more yellow screen.
Okay.
And then I work on the computer a lot, and so if I start to get headaches or something, I've got some blue light glasses that
Yeah.
block that. But yeah, I think probably the thing I use the most is just that shift, whatever. I don't even remember what the thing is called, but it shifts to be like everything's much more yellow, so it cuts a lot.
Okay, so it automatically is like
Yeah, it's set on
there's
a
a timer on
yeah.
there. What's that called?
I don't know. It's built into the Macs.
Okay.
And
Wow,
the
really?
iPhone has it. Yeah, it's somewhere buried in a setting. I don't know if I could find it.
That's
quick,
cool.
but-
So that's even more of a reason to have Apple.
Yeah, right.
That's great that they've thought of that.
Yeah, and I can definitely tell a difference. I mean, like sometimes I'll be on the phone when it shifts over, and it's just like, oh, that felt so much. This
Yeah.
is so much nicer.
I know it's hard.
You
Well,
don't even know how much pain you're in.
so here's some tips for creating more screen-free time. Set a screen curfew. Aim to turn off all screens at least 1 hour before bed. Set an intention. Remember why you're doing this. I'm not going to do this because I will regret it tomorrow. Create a healthy bedtime routine. So, reading a book, meditation on your day, journaling, or practicing gentle stretches are a few that you can implement. Blue light filters. If you need to use screens, try blue light blocking glasses or filters to reduce the impact on your melatonin production. Even I've recently discovered that Apple computers and iPhones actually have a built-in timer that turns the blue light into yellow light, depending on the amount of screen time that you're actually using throughout the day, which is awesome. And start small. Hey, nobody is saying you have to become a Buddhist monk overnight. Start with 10 to 15 minute screen-free period just before bed. Then as you get comfortable, start working your way up. Just remember, this is all going to help you in the long run. So yeah, I understand that some of us are literally glued to our devices. The mere thought of not being able to use our phone causes a visceral reaction. Look, I'm not suggesting by any means you never use your phone, just limiting the times and only if you are ready. This is merely a list of benefits that the screen free time can give you. I honestly am still working on this and I'm far from perfect with it. Yet I'm noticing real changes in my life. So plus, on the nights that I do allow myself to watch television, it feels like a real treat. And I get really excited about it. And it's like something that I can look forward to throughout my week. Hey, my ADHD warriors. Ever feel like your mind's a bit scattered? Struggling to keep track of your day, stay focused, or just handle all the noise? Well, say goodbye to those distractions because Meta Ray-Bans have got your back and your brain. Look, these aren't just regular shades. Meta Ray-Bans are equipped with built-in smart technology to help keep your focus sharp and your day under control. Imagine no more fumbling for your phone. Just tap your frames to take calls or listen to music. Or when you need a quick break from sensory overload, one swipe and you're lost in your favorite podcast or playlist. It's that easy. With their sleek, stylish design, you can seamlessly navigate your world, cutting through distractions and staying focused on what matters most. Plus, they sync with your phone and easily set reminders. And if you're anything like me and you forget the thing that you just went upstairs for, they're perfect. Whether you're out and about, working, or winding down, Meta Ray-Bans are here to keep your ADHD in check while you're looking like a super spy. So why not give your focus the boost it deserves? Check out Meta Ray-Bans today and see the world through a lens that was designed for you. So head on over to dadhdwss.com/start here and discover how these smart glasses can level up your day. Meta Ray-Bans, the shades that think for you. That's dadhdwss.com/start-HERE and get yours today. This is not a paid endorsement from Ray-Ban. Now for our first contender, Caffeine. Stepping in the ring with an average daily consumption rate of 200 milligrams. Okay, so Dr. Sarah Chayette, who has written 3 books on ADHD and the focused mind, winning with ADHD, and ADHD in Me, has been named a top doctor in San Francisco magazine. She talks about caffeine, and I know caffeine for a lot of us is an intrinsic part of life. It's the most common stimulant medication, and it affects mood, memory, alertness, physical performance, and how you think. Yeah, you may not think of it as a medication because of how it has been marketed. Like, think of Starbucks. It's like it's in a relaxing environment. You go in and talk to your friends, and it's become like a cultural phenomenon, really. So some interesting facts about caffeine is that it comes from a berry that comes from warmer parts of the world. And taking a trip back to chemistry class, its chemical compound name is 1,3,7-trimethylxanthine. The history of it is actually pretty unclear. The story is a goat herder noticed that his goats were more lively after eating certain berries. It is mostly found in coffee, cola nuts, tea, and chocolate. Dark chocolate actually has more caffeine in it, and white chocolate has no caffeine. Ranges of caffeine in a lot of drinks. So the approximate, it's like an approximate amount. And even decaf may contain small amounts of the substance. It is really readily absorbed and metabolized at different rates depending on the individual by the liver. So it's true for other things such as Adderall. And here's the kicker. Smoking actually increases your metabolism rate. When you drink caffeine, it goes into your bloodstream, and eventually it blocks your adenosine receptors, which prohibit the production of dopamine, a super complicated chemical. While it has been shown to increase cortical activation and can enhance mood and certain types of performances, including physical endurance. However, there are many negative side effects, including increased heart rate, It stimulates the central nervous system. And for those of you with heart condition, this can be uncomfortable and concerning. Have you heard of heart palpitations? This is when you have an irregular heartbeat and may be a sign that you are sensitive to stimulants. Anxiety and jitters. Those of us with high anxiety disorders can really put us on edge with nervousness and restlessness, and extreme cases can cause muscle tremors and jitters in the hands. So I remember when I had a quat espresso, like I couldn't even finish that thing. I was like, it was crazy. There should be more of a warning factor in that, because like I thought at the time that I was really had a higher tolerance, but like that thing just it was not a pleasant experience. I was just really jacked up on caffeine. And if you are one of these individuals that has trouble sitting still, this will only make it worse. It has also been known to cause panic attacks. The next one is insomnia. Caffeine really can interfere with sleep, particularly later on in the day, because it blocks a helpful neurotransmitter called endorphin, which promotes sleep. Causes digestive issues. Ever wonder why you may be having acid reflux or indigestion, or your throat is burning? That's because caffeine stimulates the production of stomach acid. Some people even experience nausea, upset stomach, diarrhea, and vomiting after drinking large amounts of caffeine on an empty stomach. High blood pressure. Although for most people, caffeine's effect on blood pressure is only temporary, however, if you are prone to hypertension, it could lead to a more serious issue. Headaches. Ever wonder why you get pounding headaches after a late night cram session? Both excessive consumption and withdrawal can trigger headaches. Like I know for me, I would get a lot of headaches and I couldn't figure out where it was coming from. But when I stopped drinking caffeine, I actually went through serious withdrawals. Like I had the worst headaches, migraines really, that I've had in my entire life. And that was a very unpleasant experience. And I don't say this in a way that to dissuade you. I actually am glad that it was so bad looking back, because now I'm like more adverse to going back to caffeine. Dehydration. Caffeine is a diuretic, which means it makes you pee a lot. If not supplemented with water, it can lead to dehydration, dependency, and withdrawal. Don't talk to me until I get my coffee. Does that sound familiar? Its addictive nature can lead to a physical dependence. When someone stops, it can lead to severe withdrawal symptoms, including headaches, irritability, fatigue, and difficulty concentrating. I can attest to all of those. Reduced calcium absorption. Well, I get enough sun, I should be good, right? Caffeine has been known to inhibit the body's ability to absorb calcium, which over time will contribute to weakened bones, which is not something that you want, basically. Mood swings, Caffeine can cause mood fluctuations, irritability, or exacerbate feelings of stress, especially in high doses or withdrawal. Addictive behavior. Because of our need for instant gratification caused by our irregular dopamine production, this can become a dangerous substance. It can lead to habitual overuse and the feeling of need just in case I might get tired, or I feel like I'm tired when I'm really not. This can lead to a higher tolerance and a misuse and abuse of this substance. So there's a special note on ADHD stimulant medication. Yes, caffeine and ADHD stimulants have similar effects, yet it takes much more caffeine to accomplish these same results. Now, with added side effects. And combining caffeine to ADHD stimulants is not recommended because it can have severe negative results. Now, Dr. Sarah Chayette says one of the things people complain about most often when they don't get enough sleep is that they can't remember things as well. The way your brain functions is actually getting worse. People often underestimate the effect the lack of sleep has on them. Proper sleep is going to give you more benefits than what you intended when you drank that coffee. If you don't get enough sleep, you are probably underestimating how well you perform, and the way to fix that is to get the right amount of sleep and not having more coffee, even in the morning. Caffeine is not an acceptable substitute for the lack of sleep. While moderate caffeine consumption is generally safe for most people, as we can see, sensitivity varies for each individual. If you are experiencing any of these discomforts, you should immediately see a doctor. So if you're having these chronic issues, one thing that you must ask is, why am I doing this to myself? Is it really worth it? Now, if you have decided that you want to stop drinking caffeine, she highly suggests that you do it slowly and gradually.
Two cups of coffee in the morning. That's it.
That's interesting.
And chocolate.
And chocolate. Did you know? Yeah, you know chocolate has caffeine.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
No, not really. I never really studied like the negative side effects of caffeine. I try not to look at the negatives too much. It scares me. I don't like getting myself worried up like about things too much. I like if I'm drinking coffee, it's like I'm drinking coffee. You know,
I think that's like adult status. And I haven't really got to like the coffee age yet. Like I'm a morning person, so.
It's a stimulant.
Yeah.
So it has to have, it has to do some of those things. A heart rate wouldn't be surprising, and when you come off of caffeine, you get a headache.
Oh yeah.
So it's got a physical component to keep you coming back for more.
I drink coffee. I drink it in the mornings. I used to drink it all the time, and when I was younger, I could have a cup of coffee and then go to bed.
Wow.
But not anymore. Now I try to make sure I don't have anything after at least 3, if not like noonish. If I don't have coffee, then I might be more susceptible to a headache.
caffeine, I do drink a lot of caffeine.
Okay, so you like do that to make up for the lack of sleep?
Mm-hmm. Not even just the lack of sleep. Like kind of help me get through the day.
Okay.
I'm tired the other days, so. And that's just like I run out of energy fast, so
Mm-hmm.
and I don't like especially being like socially all the time. I don't
Yeah.
be social too much. So
Yeah.
I run out of social battery, low on social battery, so I definitely drink caffeine and helps me like give me that boost throughout the day, just to get me there.
That's interesting that you noticed that.
It's not good for you in the long run if you have a watch.
Now, and the next contender we have is sleep. Putting every opponent to bed with a perfect record. All right. Deep sleep is critical for everyone, but for individuals with ADHD, it is especially important. ADHD brains are different in the fact that they process and absorb a lot of information throughout the day, making restful sleep a crucial time for mental and physical restoration. Without the proper amount of sleep, your brain will not retain the information as well. Here are some key benefits of deep sleep for those with ADHD. Improved focus and concentration. Deep sleep helps solidify memories and improve cognitive function. For us with ADHD, this means waking up more focused and it will stay on task. Poor sleep can agitate ADHD symptoms, make it harder to concentrate, organize, or complete tasks, amongst other things. Next one is enhanced emotional regulation. As we all know, ADHD can make emotional regulation challenging. Deep sleep, particularly the REM cycle, is essential for processing emotions and stabilizing mood. When sleep is disrupted, irritability, anxiety, and emotional volatility can increase. With proper deep sleep, our brain has more bandwidth to manage stress and maintain emotional balance. Better executive functioning. Deep sleep supports higher level cognitive processes like decision making, impulse control, and time management, which are often difficult for those of us with ADHD. Restoring executive functioning through deep sleep can lead to better planning, prioritization, and follow through on tasks. The next one is memory consolidation. ADHD can make short-term memory fragile, but deep sleep strengthens memory consolidation by helping individuals retain important information. This translates to improved recall, less forgetfulness, and fewer moments of out of sight, out of mind. By thinking of deep sleep as a sort of mind janitor that helps to organize those scattered thoughts and transfer them to the safer, more stable long-term memory banks of the brain. Look, he needs time to get it done. Your brain is a big place. So the next one is reduced hyperactivity. Deep sleep has a calming effect on the brain, which can reduce hyperactivity during the day. Inadequate sleep often leads to more fidgeting, restlessness, and impulsivity, while restful sleep promotes a calmer, more focused energy. Lower anxiety and stress. People with ADHD are more susceptible to stress and anxiety. Deep sleep plays a key role in reducing cortisol levels, a stress hormone, helping the brain and body reset. This reduction in stress can lead to a greater sense of calm and better handling of daily challenges. Physical restoration. So the body repairs itself during deep sleep, which is essential for overall health. ADHD can often lead to physical restlessness, and deep sleep helps in relaxing the body, reducing tension and allowing muscles to recover, promoting a more relaxed state during the day. And finally, improved impulse control. With ADHD, impulse control is a common struggle. Deep sleep helps regulate the brain's prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for controlling impulse and decision making. Adequate sleep can lead to better judgment, less impulsive behavior, and improved self-regulation. For individuals with ADHD, optimizing deep sleep is a powerful tool for improving daily functioning, mental clarity, emotional balance, and overall well-being. It is one of the first things that my ADHD coach asked if I was getting enough of. Hey there, ADHD warriors. I know you've been enjoying my podcast, and I love you for it. That's why I got something special for you. I'm excited to invite you to join my Patreon community. Now, you might be wondering, why should I even sign up? Well, let me tell you exactly why it benefits you. First off, by becoming a Patreon supporter, you're not just helping me create more content. You're unlocking exclusive benefits just for you. We're talking early access to new episodes, bonus content that dives even deeper into powerful strategies for ADHD and depression, and exclusive merchandise. Plus, you'll get to join an amazing community of like-minded individuals who are all about advocating, learning, and thriving with ADHD and depression. But that's not all. As a member, you'll get a personal shout-outs in the episode and have the chance to vote on future topics. So your voice helps shape the direction of the show. Have burning questions or ideas you want to explore? Patreon members can submit questions directly to me, and I'll tackle them in upcoming episodes or Q&As. So if you've been loving the podcast and you want to take this journey further, head over to patreon.com/Ron Sowers and choose the tier that works for you. Your support helps me continue to provide the ADHD and depression content you love while giving you the extra perks to get even more out of it. Join the family, level up your ADHD game, and let's keep this movement going strong together. I can't wait to see you on the other side. So once again, that's patreon.com/RONSOUERS. Your next step towards thriving with ADHD starts now. Okay, wait for it. Now the judges are tallying their votes and finalizing the outcome. And the winner is Sleep by a knockout. All right. So here's some tips that might help you with getting better sleep. So from what I have been hearing, most doctors and psychologists recommend getting between 7 and 9 hours. Yeah, I know that may seem impossible for a lot of you. I don't have time to sleep. There is so much to do. One of the ways that has really helped me is eliminating screen time throughout the work week. This helps me to get to bed earlier and get the sleep that I need. I know that this might sound daunting, but try starting small, such as 10 minutes before bed, or switching activities to journaling, reading, or meditation. Yeah, I know that's radical, like reading a book. Like I said before, I'm definitely still working on this, and but now I really see TV as a real treat, and I look forward to it throughout the week. So here's the trick. Try turning down the lights and setting the mood towards sleep-oriented activities. This helps remind your brain that it's time to start transitioning towards bedtime. Sleep specialists are finding that people with ADHD creating a wind-down routine is far more effective than trying to hit a specific bedtime. It's about creating habits to soothe your brain into sleep rather than forcing it. And here's a radical thought. If you can't sleep, stop trying. Get out of bed, do something low energy like reading or stretching, and then try again when you feel sleepy, or even meditation. I know that some of you may worry a lot when you are trying to get to sleep. It's okay to worry, but try setting a time to worry earlier in the day. The bedroom is a place for rest and relaxation, and worrying isn't one of those activities. Write down what you want to worry about and set a time by reminding yourself that you can worry about it later. It's not going anywhere, and it will be there in the morning. The next one is exercise. It actually does, in fact, help sleep, mood, and ADHD by improving neuron growth and blood vessels and brain cell growth. And it adds a sense of accomplishment. You know, one of the things that I advocate for is, a 10-minute cardio or HIIT workout, 10 to 15 minutes, maybe 2 to 3 times a week is perfect for, helping getting that sense of, yeah, I'm doing something. And then this next one is try only drinking coffee or energy drinks in the morning and not past a certain time. Caffeine has a long half-life, so plan accordingly. And as I mentioned before, start gradually to avoid withdrawal. And be kind to yourself when you slip up. The fact that you want to make this change is huge, and you should always celebrate that. Give yourself time, and you'll get it. And don't forget, some foods that naturally produce melatonin are tart cherries, almonds, walnuts, bananas, goji berries, oats, rice, tomatoes, milk, fatty fish, including salmon, tuna, and mackerel, pistachios, and grapes. So here's the thing. You're not bad at sleeping. Your brain just needs a different approach. And maybe, just maybe, the key to unlocking better sleep isn't about perfect routines or avoiding blue light. It's about giving yourself permission to do the opposite of what you've been taught. The most counterintuitive sleep hack for ADHD, radical acceptance. So your brain isn't broken because you struggle with sleep. I would go so far as to say that your ADHD isn't even the problem. It's the stigma and that misunderstanding it brings that is the real villain. And I'll go more into that on a future episode. But for now, instead of fighting it, embrace it. Accept that your sleep routine might look different from everyone else's, and that's okay. Maybe your sleep won't follow the 9-to-5 world schedule, and maybe your most productive hours happen after midnight. The real victory here is finding what works for you and being okay with that. So tonight, when you lie down and sleep doesn't come right away, remember, it's not a race. Let your mind wander. Dim the lights. Turn off the pressure. Look, it took me a long time to find out what works for me. And I thought I was a night owl. But now I consider my most productive hours are between 8 and 11 in the morning. Crazy, right? Good sleep will come on its own time. And when it does, it'll be on your terms. And to my ADHD warriors, if what you heard has inspired you today, I'm going to throw down the gauntlet. I challenge you to be caffeine-free in 30 days. Nah, I'm serious. Follow in my path and put that poison down and live free of one less crutch. Please send me your stories. And if you got what it takes, I'll feature you as a special guest on an upcoming episode. And you can send that to my email at ronsowers@dadhdwss.com. That's RONSOUERS@dadhdwss.com. And as always, subscribe and may the source be with you.